In this video, I help a military veteran start a business from scratch and scale it to $175,000 a month in just 60 days using all the same strategies and principles that have helped me grow to $115 million in sales. Devin's idea was to offer high-level business owners a way to get on top podcasts that would save them tens of thousands of dollars on ads. However, he had no idea where to start, so I first had to break down his offer and help him come up with his 3 main pillars.
The biggest thing we have to do is we have to try to get it to a financial ROI. Because at the end of the day, if we cannot get them to see that there's a financial ROI, it's really tough. Like, let's say you're only going after bigger people. Well, that's fine, except it's got to be a really strong offer because they get pitched all the time, right? So it's got to be really good, right? It's got to be really enticing. You also have to show people that what you're doing, they can't do on their own. Because again, if they think that, they're not going to pay you. What we need to start with first is let's just break down the offers. So we need to think of like, what are the top things that make you different? We need to convince them why they need a podcast, and then it needs to be like, why you?
Right.
Okay, like why hire you? Why not do it on their own, etc. So when we're thinking of these 3 things, it's like, what are the top 3 reasons that answer these types of questions? Like, why should they do a podcast? And then why you? And that's what these 3 things need to be about. So let's talk about that. Like, what are those reasons?
Yeah, so first, why a podcast? I mean, we could look at someone like you, multiple $100,000s a month to get leads in Facebook ads. Okay. So that means getting attention, getting eyeballs on you.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much it costs to get 100 eyeballs with ads, but when you get on somebody's podcast, like,
oh yeah, for what I pay. Well, and it's like
even if you got to pay a couple of bucks,
doesn't matter.
It's nothing compared to the ad spend. So number one, it reduces maybe not the amount of money that you have to spend on ads, but you're able to get in front of substantially more people most of the time for free. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking to attract leads and to grow your business, then, I mean, why wouldn't you want to get on podcast? Because number one, you're getting in front of more people, but number 2, you're getting in front of the right people.
Here's a question for you. Sure. So the people you've been getting me in front, can you do that for everyone or no?
Not for everybody. And I think that that's setting proper expectations up front.
Okay. So like, but what could you promise? Cause for example, if you came to me and you're like, yo, bro, so look, like, cause like this will make sense to me. It's like, look, I'm going to get you on these podcasts, or like you don't pay, or it's like, you pay me this, I will guarantee you get on these podcasts. I know, like what you just said, you can't do that for everyone, but like, you know, if there were 10 people in the room with different levels of skill, is there any type of promise we can make where it's like, hey, I can get you on at least this many podcasts, right? Like I can get you on this many downloads. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that to me would be super sexy because it's like an ad agency who's like, yeah, we can run your ads. Well, what guarantee? It's like nothing. But if you're like, look, we'll run your ads, and if you don't get at least a 2x ROI, we refund you. It's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
So is there anything we could say on that?
Yeah, you know, the podcast is kind of hard because you can't really see people's downloads. So you don't know how many it's actually getting. But you can see like out of 3.5 million podcasts, there's the top 5%, the top 2%, the top 1%. I mean, I have no problem. I can guarantee people get in front of like top 2% of all podcasts in the world. Now, how does that correlate
how do you
with
base that though?
downloads?
How do you base that though? So how do you know it's top 2% though?
There's just websites that tell you, like, based upon listening volume and downloads.
Okay.
They have
so you could guarantee they got on top 2% podcasts?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
In the world?
Yeah.
Okay. So lower lead cost, top 2% in the world. We'll just keep listing stuff out.
With me.
Well, I mean, so people who want to get on podcasts, what are the reasons? Like, it's either going to be this, lower lead costs. What's the other
like
reason?
You just said, you want to build their brand.
Personal brand.
That's really the people that I want to work with because they
personal
understand.
brand.
There are also people, I mean, it might sound a little corny, but in my experience, like, there are people that really know that they want to grow beyond just their industry.
Yeah, so like for more experienced people, that's your biggest pitch for sure.
Yeah.
Right. So that part makes sense because it's like, so this is the why. It's like, why should I do a podcast? Like lower lead costs. Makes sense. The question we're not answering as well is why you?
Some other things, I mean, would be customization as well. I mean, you can say, yeah, I want to go on all of these podcasts, but how do you know that they're actually the right fit for you? Sure, you can just go look on YouTube and be like, yeah, okay, I want to be on this guy's podcast, that guy's podcast.
Right, but how do you know that?
We go out into the marketplace and look at all of the different podcasts because let's be real, how many do you watch on YouTube? Maybe 5?
Not a lot.
There's a lot more podcasts in the world than just the 5 that you're watching on YouTube.
Okay.
So what we do is we go out and we put together the perfect list of podcasts based upon your audience, your needs, and who you're looking for.
Okay.
So you saw us right there come up with this 3 pillars that he's going to use in his marketing and sales calls to convince prospects to buy. Next, we moved into pricing to figure out what he's going to charge per client.
Okay, and then, so let's walk through your pricing. What do you want to charge?
So this is my goal. I want to have, by October of next year,
Okay.
$100,000 per month
Okay, so you want to charge like 5K a month.
at least.
Okay, so for you to be able to charge 5K a month, like if I was going to pay you that, I'd have to see ROI more than that. And that also, remember, keep in mind, that also what I would include is if I have to pay to get on and these other guys, that factors into that money.
Yeah. In terms of financial ROI, or how
No,
are you
100%.
measuring
Oh,
that
dude,
ROI?
100%.
Yeah.
No, that's all they're going to care about. The only people who are going to pay you 5K a month, they're going to already have established business. No beginner is going to pay you 5K. Well, you have 2 models, by the way. We're going to have a done with you model, and we're going to have a done for you model. Okay. And then you have the criteria. So, like, what's the criteria for the done for you? Like, what do you need to have?
I mean, I really want them to be making at least $1 million a year.
Okay, so that means they need to be doing 100,000 a month, which is very few people. This is going to be beginners, and you're going to show them how to do it. Okay, so I think you could easily sell this for 5 to 10K, no problem.
Okay.
Easily, like 5K is like you if you can't sell that, there's an issue with your process. We'll go through that. This like if you want to sell this at 5K a month, for a guy like me to pay you that, you have to show me mathematically that for me to pay you $5,000 a month, I make more than that. For this, you either have to come to a guy like me and you go, it's 5K a month, and this is how you're gonna save money by paying me to do it for you. But then that might not make sense for your business because you're not making enough money. That's the only 2 angles you got. Because for me, especially when I look at agencies for that much, that's where as soon as it gets close to 5K, my head of me is like, I could get someone full time to do this only for me.
Correct me if I shouldn't even be thinking there. Right? Like, where should my focus
Yeah, I
be?
mean, like realistically right now, like we just need to get making money. Right.
Exactly.
Like, and once you start making money, then it's like, yeah, but I mean, I like that you're thinking long term. So here's where we're at. This definitely you could sell, but you're pitching like, I'm going to show you everything you need to know. And then we build it around these pillars. That will definitely work. That's probably why you're struggling with these people. We'll talk about that. And then it's probably just your lead gen strategy as well. The done for you quality of the service is not as good long term. Like in the short term it is. I mean, that's the other way you could pitch this. But then it's like, again, it's not as sellable. So you could go to someone and say, yo, look, I have a 3-month program. It's $15,000, right? And I'm gonna do everything for you, but I'm also gonna show your team how to do it. And after 3 months,
I
I'll
was
take
thinking
over.
too after reading the book.
You could pitch that. That would be more enticing to me. Like, I'd pay you for that. I'd 100% pay you for that. Like, if you were like, yo, I'll show you everything I do, but the downside, right, is then like you kind of lose the customer after a certain point. But the upside is like, that's a really sexy deal. If your goal is like, I want to get as much recurring revenue as possible, you can't pitch it that way because you're not going to get it. But the downside is like, it's harder to sell, in my opinion, because the way a guy like me looks at it is like, and to be honest, even what some people do if they don't tell you is like, even if you're the agency, they're going to try to see what you're doing usually so they can cut you out. I mean, that's reality. So you might just go straight to the chase like, yo, you got 1 of 2 options. You can pay me a monthly retainer, I'll just do it for you, or you could pay me this and I'll show your team how to do it. So when after 3 or 6 months, you guys can take it completely over. For a guy like me, that like I would pay you for that for sure. The offer that I would take is if you did come to me and you're like, yo, Tanner, look, I got you on these podcasts. I'll show your whole team how to do it, and you can rip my strategy and it's this much. I'd be like, all right, I'd 100% pay you for that. No problem.
Yeah.
Like, how long do you think it would take to teach someone's team how to do it? Like, realistically, is it like a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months?
I'd say probably like a month.
Okay. So realistically, if you wanted to sell it, I would sell it as like a 3-month program, right? Because just like it's easier to build more value that way, right? So like probably what you could do is you're like, you could sell it really high ticket. You're like, yo, look, I'm gonna charge you like $15K for 3 months, right? And then I'm gonna do it for you for 3 months. But at the end of the 3 months, your team will know how to do it, so you don't have to pay me anymore. You can, but like at the end of 3 months, your team will know how to do it if you want. But what you could do is you could sell, I mean, you technically, if you were wanting to do this, you could do this for everyone. You could just be like, yo, I'll do it for you for 3 months. At the end of 3 months, you're gonna know how to do it. Because you give them the best of both worlds. You're literally doing it for them so they can be lazy, and you're gonna show them how to do it so they don't have to pay you forever, which is pretty much answers both sides of the coin. The only thing I think you need to decide is like, I don't think you really want to do this for beginners, right? You don't tell them both options. You pick which option is better for them. Do you understand? Like you have to decide for them. So realistically, like if you're going after higher level people, this would be the sell I would take. Like I'm just being straight with you. If you came to me, like even after what you've done for me, if you came, like if I get on these podcasts and they go well, you could easily in a couple of weeks come to me like, yo, pay me that. And I'd be like, yeah, that's fair. I'm like, okay, and you're showing my team exactly what you're doing? So what I would probably do, and like what I think is fair to me, and dude, you could probably push this price depending, but I think like that's kind of the range I'm thinking. It's like $5K a month, it's $15K for 3-month commitment. I'll do it for you for 3 months. I don't know if that's too long, like you tell me.
After we came up with his pricing for both his done with you and done for you offer, we had to go back to the 3 pillars and optimize them for both offers.
Okay, so let's do the pillars. We got the done with you, which is brokies, beginners, and that would be like 5 to 10K. I would start at 5. If you start selling it a lot at 5, you can push it to 10. Okay. And then the done for you is gonna be, I would start at like 15K for 3 months. Okay. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go through the pillars. So let's start with the done with you. So done with you, okay, so you get on the call and you're like, cool. So pillar number 1, let's say we call it the infinite faucet system. She's like, all right, so this is we're doing beginners right now. The way most people are gonna tell you to get leads is referrals, right? We all know that's not a consistent way to get business. That's how you're getting business right now, right? Because again, these are the brokies. The second way they tell you to get leads is ads. The issue with ads is you gotta pay a ton of money. Now, Tanner, do you know how much it costs to get 1,000 views with ads? Well, no, I have no idea. It takes $20 a pop. So let me give you an example. I can get you, and again, you'll have to describe this to the person, okay? But you need to give examples here, okay? So again, we're showing here's what most people do, here's what we do for beginners, remember? So it's like most people, and then what I do, okay? So you're gonna go, so what most people do is they do referrals, right? And referrals don't really work because it's not consistent, etc. The second thing they teach you is ads. Well, the issue with ads is it costs you 20 bucks per 1,000 impressions. So let's do the math. If you got 1 million impressions in a month and it costs you $20 per 1,000 impressions, that's $20,000 you have to spend a month to get 1 million eyeballs. So to get 1,000 eyeballs, so for 1,000 people to see my ad, it's 20 bucks a pop. Just to see it. That's not even like lead, that's just to see it. Okay. So to get on his podcast, I'm paying 10 times less. It would cost me $40,000 to get as many eyeballs as being on his podcast. Dude, that's a lot. And that's just his downloads per month. That's not over time. That's not even over time. Yeah. So it's probably even less. So do you see why that is such an important pillar?
You can't break it.
This pillar you're gonna use on both. Yeah. Okay, so this, we'll get to that, but like write down the pillars for the beginners and then you write down the pillars for others. So you're like, pillar number 2 is I'm gonna show you how to get on the top 1% to 2% podcasts in the world. Now here's the thing, like, yeah, you can go out and do this yourself and message people and do all this stuff, but you're not actually getting on big podcasts. So you're basically wasting your time. So pillar number 2 is what I like to call client infiltration. So here's the cool part. What typically happens is an agency, when you talk to them, a podcast agency, they want to keep you on retainers for forever. Why? Because they want to make you dependent on them. So here's what I'm going to do. Not only am I going to get you booked, let me back it up. Not only am I going to get you booked on top 1% to 2% podcasts in the world that we can verify by going to listenrules.com, okay? But at the end of my program, I will show you and your entire team how the process works so that you can fire me if you want to. And the reason I do that is I know that's what's in your best interest. If you want to keep hiring me as a consultant, great, but your team will know the entire process A to Z. And then here you do the same thing. You're like, and the reason you want to hire me is I've been doing this for 5 years. I have all the personal relationships. Like I said, I'm willing to fire myself. Okay. Like, so I'm not trying to keep you on my tit for forever and And that, dude, is like way better pitch. And then if you want, in here, you would just add that part about, I'll get you your first free clients for free or whatever. You're like, and just say like, I will get you on 3 top 1% podcasts that you agree to. And once you do that, you have to pay me or something. Like that would be, you don't have to do that, by the way. Like, I'm not saying you have to do that.
But that just shows them the value.
But yeah, it's like, well, because like if someone, like if I saw your ad and I clicked on it and I got on a call, like I know I'm gonna have to pay you something. But if you were like really trying to go organic with it and like take it home, you could easily go to a guy like me. Like I guarantee if you went to like some of my buddies, you could easily be like, yo, so who's some of your boys? And I'm like, yeah, hit this guy up. And what would I tell him? I'm like, yo, this guy, he's really good. He'll get you on podcasts, your first 3 podcasts for free, and then you just have to pay him if he does it. Are you interested in that? And I would be like, these are the ones I've been on. Then when you send it, you get permission from those people to mention them in emails. Okay. And you're like, yo, do I have your permission? And that can even be part of your thing. You're like, yo, I'll get you on all these podcasts for free. But in return, I just ask that you let me mention you in emails to clients that I did work for you. Because like, for example, if you drop my name in emails, I 100% guarantee you'll get clients from that, because they'll go, you help Tanner? And then they're going to hit me up and I go, yeah, he's legit. That's way more powerful than anything else you could do.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do for the free people. And then when you send the email, you just explain what you said. So look, to build trust, I'll get you on these free ones for free. And if you want to verify I'm legit, I did it for all these guys. That I would respond to that for sure. And then the headline would be like, I'll get you on top 1% podcast for free. Or you say like, I'll get you on 3 top 1% podcasts for free.
Okay, yeah.
But I think also in the email, you would need to bring this up. Because that's the other thing. I'm like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about podcasts, but you'd be like, this is why it matters. Because you're like, you get the same amount of views for 10 times less.
We finally nailed down Devin's offer and how we were going to pitch it, so we moved towards his messaging towards prospects, so we had a consistent way to turn leads into sales calls.
So the first thing is every time you send a message, this isn't bad because she responded, but you always want to say like, hey, freaking love your cover photo, send. Hope that's not weird to say, LOL. Like, because it's kind of like, to me, this is kind of like, I'm initially going to be like, what does this guy want?
Yeah.
Okay. But if you say like, hope that's not weird to say, you're like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know. It just opens people up. She's like, thanks, Devin. That's so nice to hear. You're like, you're welcome. I can just tell through your photos and content how genuine you are. Send, ask a question. Okay. You always want to ask questions because like when you say statements, I don't know, like it doesn't go anywhere. So then you might be like, yeah, so like I was like, what do you do in your business, or whatever question you want to lead with. Okay. So this says, thank you. You seem to be down to earth and successful. Let's see what you say.
I appreciate that. Thanks so much for saying those kind words. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, it means a lot to me. But listen, I'm doing some market research. Just came to me that I should ask you this question, really, because the only reason I'm reaching out is because maybe it'll help you, maybe it won't. You'll be able to kind of tell me that after you hear what I have to say. But anyways, what I'm doing is I'm running a beta group of 5 serious entrepreneurs who are looking to expand their audience by leveraging other people's audiences. And I'm really looking for 5 people that don't really want to post on social media every day, just hoping to attract their ideal client, how to profit from the podcast. So anyways, don't know if this is for you, but I wanted to at least...
Hey, Devin, it definitely sounds interesting. Is it a requirement that we not post every day? Because I kind of like posting every day, and I have a whole system set up for that. But I really, really, really am interested in leveraging other people's audiences. That would be super cool.
Right. And then the thing is like, you explain this to her is like, remember, it's like, so look, well, it's a price thing. It's like, yeah, but like, here's the thing. This is going to get you more clients, right? Isn't that the whole point of getting on the podcast? Because it gets you more clients. Like, that's what people are like, well, Tanner, I don't have money to pay you. It's like, yeah, because you don't know how to make money. Isn't that the whole point? You're here. So like, that's an objection issue, but you should have had an application before to vet that out, because maybe like, what, so like how much money, like what did you pitch her at? What price?
I think it's 5,000.
And she said she couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like you need to have something on there that's like, and you could go from rigorous to less rigorous, but like, let me give you an example. Like, it depends how stringent you want to be. Usually when you're running ads, you could be a little bit more aggressive because you're getting more volume. When you're doing this, it's going to be less, but you want to be like, you know, are you able to invest in yourself? Or you can say like, how much revenue does your business make a month? Open this. Okay, let me do as best I can to get start. All right, so we'll just do test. Okay. Oh, I want to put my real number. Okay. So that's fine. Perfect. Well, why is he being on podcast? Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Because again, you're trying to see if they commit. Have you ever with the coach before? Yes. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't ask that. I would just be like, I don't really like the 1 to 10 question. I would take it off. I wouldn't leave. Do you have to have this? So why is this multiple choice? Let me ask you that.
I don't know.
You want as few multiple choice as possible. The reason my team has multiple choice on some of them is because we get a lot of applications, and so it helps them vet it better.
Okay.
But you don't need, like, multiple choice is worse, actually, just so
Okay.
you know that. So what I would do is you say, instead of asking how much they can invest, it's better to ask, like, how much profit do you make a month from your income, or like how much you know what I'm saying? Because like what you really care about is like how much money they make. It's not how much, because this question they just might put like, well, I only want to pay. They usually put the low numbers because that's all they want to spend. So instead, you find out how much money they make, and so if they give you an objection, you're like, well, dude, you said your business makes $5,000 a month, right? Okay, so why can't you invest $5,000 if you make that in a month?
So frame the question in terms of
Yeah,
how
so
much
but
you're
leave it
making a month.
open-ended. You also will get better answers leaving it open-ended. You'll get people like, about this much. You'll be like, I don't really know. And then it's like, hey, so I saw in the application you said you didn't really know. Like, can you give me more context? Because like, why? I don't want to waste my time on like
That's
if
been the
you're
biggest thing, man.
if you're getting on calls and it's not to practice, then what should you be doing if you're not on calls?
You want to make sure that the people that are on the calls are the right fit.
No. But like, let's
sorry,
say
yeah.
let's say someone fills out the application. Okay, so this is a 2-step again.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Guess
Okay.
maybe,
Good. So far, so good. Good.
should maybe try to find you one that's not a 2-step.
Okay, my business is prosperity first. I'm a fractional CFO. My book for risk. Like, this stuff is so fluffy to me. Like, you even see why this person might be struggling. Like, my zone of genius is bridging the soul and the science of money. Like, who the fuck is gonna understand that?
Yeah.
Nobody. What the fuck does that even mean? Right? This is my 28th year in business. It's like, bro, if this is your 28th year in business, like, what the okay? Now this was good. That's super cool. Okay, got it. And then you ask another question. You're like, cool. Okay, so she loves that. But then the next thing is like accurate. And then I would ask the next question: what's your biggest struggle? Because like you're just basically confirming what she said. It's like yeah, confirm. Hey, so this is what you want. Now, what's your biggest what's your struggle? Because she said she wants clients. Okay, so let's see what you say.
All right, let me get this out of the way. How exactly do I pronounce your name? Because I'm going to butcher it. I don't want to do that to you. So before I say anything else, please tell me how to properly pronounce your name so I can give you that
Yeah, I
respect.
don't think you need to do this, by the way. Yeah, great. Here's my application. Fill it out. Like this 4 minute. Like what the fuck is this? 4 minutes? Okay, and then she finally agrees to a call. And then what happened? She didn't buy.
Yeah, she didn't buy. She just said
Okay.
she didn't have money.
Let's go through your structure, how to do messages, bro. It's very simple. Okay, so like typically all you're doing is you're like rapport. Okay, so it's like, hey, first name, love, what, you're doing with ABC, send, hope that's not weird to say, right? And they're like, oh, thanks, Devin. So nice of you. You're like, yeah, for sure. You're like, yeah, for sure. What does your business do? Or you're like, what does your business do? Or you could say, yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I'm just gonna type it underneath of like what you could say next. Like, yeah, for sure. Like, how's biz going this year? Right? And they're like, oh, it's doing whatever. You're like, cool. What's your goal? Like, dude, it's always the same framework.
So
and
you
then
just
they're like,
go, yeah.
and
I
they're
try to
like,
massage it
what's
and try to be too suave.
yeah, but you take them forever, and then
That's been my biggest problem.
yeah.
is that
So,
just
so
taking
remember what I was trying to tell you guys on the call. It's all about being efficient as well. So you're super inefficient. Well, how are you inefficient? You can send all these voice notes and what the fuck? Like you're wasting all that. Like, bro, you can spend 4 minutes. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you struggle? What have you tried? Okay. Have you ever had a coach? Or like, and you may or may not need to ask all these. You just like, what's your goal? Well, I'm trying to do this in my business. Like, what are you struggling with? What have you tried? And it's like, okay, and like what you might say is like, have you ever thought of, doing podcasts to get, 10x cheaper leads? Right? Because that's really the thing you need to start telling people. Like, why the problem is like you're not pitching podcasts properly. Like the way you need to pitch it is they're gonna get 10 times cheaper leads. And it's easier. And it's like you get 10 times cheaper leads without complicated tech. I mean, like my tagline, if I was you, is like, I show people how to get leads 10 times cheaper and without funnels or something. And they're like, yo, what the fuck is that? And then they come in, you're like, yo, it's top podcast, bro. It's like top 1% podcast.
So lead with like that curiosity.
Yeah. So have you ever thought of doing podcasts to get 10 times cheaper leads without it's wild. Most people have, like don't know how. That's like, yeah, I am. It's like cool. Like, well, cool. I do stuff all day long. Would a call be worth it to see I can help you or no? Like you'd be like, no pressure. But this is my zone of genius or whatever. Like you don't have to do 2-step calls with business. They know, like they kind of know what's going on, bro. They own a business, so they know like they get on a call, you're gonna sell them. Like all your shit is like way too dragged out. You're like, oh, cool, that's a cool name. It's like I'm curious, like what's your goal with this? And the reason I'm asking is like you just be more straight to the point. And keep in mind, a lot of people who do 2 steps and like that, they're broke. So you might just need to outreach people more.
Okay.
Right? You might need to go on IG hashtags, right? And like, I don't know if you've seen some of my trainings or like my YouTubes, but you need to do that, or you need to do that, the Facebook thing. And then the thing is too, is if like you're going to, if it's a beginner, you're going to do more of this. If it's a higher level guy like me, you just go straight to it. You're like, and like what I would do is like comment on a post like, yo, Tanner, I sent you a quick DM. Let me know if you're interested. And like, I would just go straight to it. Like, yo, dude, I would say something like, let's say you're pitching me and be like, yo, this is going to be long, but don't want to bother you. So here's all the details. On top, 1% podcast for free. 10x cheaper leads, like something like that, and then send it, and then like immediately copy and paste your next message that's like, all right, so here's how it works, and then just like hit them with it. Because like the more experienced guys like me, like I'm not gonna be going back and forth with some, like I'm just not. I'm like, if you start doing this to me, I'm gonna be like, bro, like probably not. But like if I was reaching out like Onyx Segal and stuff like that, I would just text him like, yo, dude, sorry to bother you. Here's what's going on. Let me know if you're down.
So Devin came in with nothing, and in just 2 hours, we were able to structure a path that within 60 days got him to $175,000 a month. If you want to see his update video with the proof, you can watch that by clicking here.